Okay, let's go ahead and get started for today. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I know it may have been a long day. Uh, hang in here with us and we'll get through this session. Today, we're going to be talking about using Britannica School and Escolar. First, I want to start off with some introductions. My name is Kaleb Banks. I'm an education consultant here at Encyclopedia Britannica. I specifically work with the Eastern region, so from about South Carolina up. And I am really happy to be here with you all today to introduce you all to Britannica School and Escolar. My contact information is on the screen, kbanks@eb.com. Please feel free to reach out and ask questions if you need any assistance with either using any of the products or if you want to think about how to use the products or just run an idea by me. I'm more than happy and really responsive to get back to you. If you have any technical support needs, so if something isn't working the way that it should, you can contact edsupport@eb.com and they will also get back to you really quickly. Just a little bit about myself. I am an educator. I am currently located in Washington, D.C. I've worked in charter schools most of my career, but I have 10 years in education with a combination of tutoring, teaching, mentoring, and so forth. When I was in the classroom, I taught all subjects at some point from 2nd to 12th grade. I spent a lot of time as a special education teacher, so that gave me the ability to be really flexible with things. And now I'm an education consultant at Encyclopedia Britannica, using those skills I learned in the classroom and thinking about ways I could have improved my own instruction as a teacher. Before we begin, when you all entered the meeting today, you were muted and your cameras were turned off. Please keep your microphones muted during the duration of our time. If you have any questions, feel free to throw those into the chat. If you want to be seen on the recording, you could turn your camera on, but otherwise, you could also keep your camera off just so the recording keeps the presentation. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat log and I will get back to you. And I will provide a recording of this webinar with additional resources for everyone who registered. So if you know someone who's having some difficulty getting in, let them know a recording will be on the way. Or if you would like to share this with some of your colleagues, please feel free to share this recording and any of the resources that I do provide. Okay, so let's hop in. First, let's talk about why Britannica. And many people have an idea about who Encyclopedia Britannica is, just based on some experience you may have with the company. But Britannica is specifically a curated source of content. And people who remember the hardbound encyclopedias would now be interested to know that Encyclopedia Britannica has translated all of our physical content online. So all of that content from our trustworthy contributors is now online. And that's content that comes from over 110 Nobel Prize winners, 20 heads of states and world activists, and 4 US presidents. That content that is created then goes through our editorial process. So as an educator, I know how important it is to make sure that the information we're presenting our students with is not only accurate, but is also relevant. And you'll be happy to know that we have nearly 1,200 monthly content updates made by our in-house editorial team, which does include former teachers and educators. Now, let's actually get into the products. You all have access to 2 Britannica products, Britannica School, which includes 3 levels of online resources for students and educators. It also includes Britannica Fundamentals for pre-K through 2nd grade students. Britannica School is a wealth of knowledge, including articles, photos, illustrations, primary source documents, maps, videos, and so much more. The good thing about Britannica School is that it's accessible on any device, anywhere, at any time. So if you would like to browse along on another device while we're going through this presentation, please feel free to do so. Britannica School is really easy to use on iPads or cell phones as well. And I think the best part about Britannica is that our information is safe, reliable, and up to date. Your second resource that you have access to is Britannica Escolar. Britannica Escolar is a Spanish language resource for native speakers, bilingual students, and students learning Spanish. It is an amazing tool with Spanish curated content that's specifically written by our editorial team in Spanish so that our students are able to access information in the language without necessarily having some of the clunky translate tools and translate problems that you might see in other platforms. There are two levels of online resources in Britannica Escolar, and those two levels include so many articles, photos, illustration, maps, and videos. And again, all of those things are in Spanish. And again, for Escolar, it is also accessible on any device, anywhere, anytime. So you can also feel free to open Escolar on a separate device and access it there as well. So let's actually hop into Britannica School. To get to Britannica School, you will go to school.eb.com. If it is your first time going to Britannica School, you'll need an access code, access ID and passcode. I can share the access ID and passcode with you all in the follow-up, but if you are just going there, you will need an access code, access ID and passcode. That will give you sort of your building level access. So once you utilize whatever the state access code, access ID and passcode is, you will then be taken to a page that looks like this. And this is the home page for Britannica School. So from the home page of Britannica School, we have our 3 different levels: elementary, middle school, and high school. And we'll take some time to look at each of the 3 levels, but I want to just start off by doing a really basic search. So I'm gonna just click the down button and I can pop up a search box. And if you notice, I put my search in the middle school section for now. You can do a search in any of the 3 sections. And I'll also show you, once we get into those sections, how you can change what you're viewing. So let's just do a quick search for lion. When I type in my keyword, I get a preview pop-up of my search so I can see some recommended articles, images, videos, and popular related searches. I'm going to go ahead and view full results. This is what the results page in Britannica School looks like. So from my results page, first I see what I searched for, how many results I have. I can increase or decrease the size of the font on the page and of any page using the plus and minus sign on that page. So that could be really helpful for students that may need larger font or younger students. This is the articles page that you will default to an article search when you search in Britannica School. I'm going to take some time to take us through some of the other search results that we get. But before I do that, I want to let you know that if you do a keyword search, let's say I'm looking for lion, and I wanted to do a more advanced search. So I can do more advanced searches using different operators to filter my results. That could be really helpful to teach students just how to filter and narrow down results that they're looking for. Another really cool feature about the searches are the Lexile filtering. So if you are a teacher or an educator that support any type of literacy, you may know the Lexile ranges of your student. Using these Lexile ranges in the filtering could really be helpful so that students find material that are geared specifically for their reading ability. You'll also notice that there's a reading level bar, and this bar sort of follows us around through Britannica School. But right now we are in the middle school level, so reading level 2. I can easily go to reading level 3 or the high school level by clicking on the 3, and I see that my search results change. Or I can go down back to reading level 1, and that's the elementary level, and now I have search results that are geared towards that level. I'm still in the middle school platform. So if you're working with students in middle school that may need some support or a different reading level, changing the reading level within their site could be really helpful. I'm going to go back to our default search, so reading level 2. And now I'm going to take us through our search results. So let's start off by looking at some images. So our search results include images, and I can view my images in 2 ways, either this sort of strip view, or I can change it to more of a grid view. Once I've done so, I can also change the thumbnail size. I can have my images become larger or smaller. I'm going to click on an image to get our preview page. And this is what the preview page looks like in Britannica School for all images. I have a title for my image, so I know that I'm looking at a lion male. I have my image. I have a description of the image and where that image comes from. A really cool feature about Britannica School is that all of the images that you find are rights cleared, so you're able to use them in your presentations. You can easily copy an image by either copying the image with a right click or saving that image with a right click. Again, this is only the image preview page. If I wanted to get more information regarding this image, I can click either media details or sharing options. Both of those buttons will bring you to the exact same page, which will be the full image page. From the full image page, I still have my title, a brief description, and where the image comes from, but I also have the option to see the full size image. And that can be helpful, especially if I do need to copy this image. There are other sharing options that I can use so that I'm able to utilize this image either in my presentations or in different ways in my educational space. For example, I can click Send To, and I have different options to send this image to different platforms. So I can copy this image as a link, and now I have the link that will bring me to this full image page. I can choose to email the image or send the image to Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams if I use either of those platforms. Next to the sharing options, there's a star option. That star will allow you to be able to favorite content within Britannica School and save it to your personal account. I'll talk a little bit more about personal accounts a little later, but I just wanted to highlight that's what that star does. Next to the star, you have the print option. And if you click the print option from an image, you will print the image page. So please keep in mind that with images, you will get the image, but you'll get the full image page. So if you have a description or any more information on that page, it will appear if you print that image. That can also be really helpful to save images as PDFs. Next to that is a really cool feature that's embedded throughout Britannica School, which allows you to build citations really easily. Using the citation builder, I can switch the style of the citation. So if I'm using MLA, I now have an MLA citation for the image. This could be really helpful to help students know how to cite information, to actually ensure that they are citing information when they're using Britannica School, and to teach them what a citation structure would look like, since these citation builders are embedded throughout Britannica School. So it's not just with images. And finally, I can increase the font on my page or decrease using font up and font down. So that's an overview of images in Britannica School. I'm gonna go back to my search results, and now I'm gonna move on to video. This is a preview of what the video page looks like for your search results. I'm gonna go ahead and click on a video. And we see that I have my title of the video, Lion Video, a brief description, and where this video comes from. I'm gonna click play on the video.
Lions are mammals, like their relatives domestic cats. Most lions live in Africa, in grasslands and open woodlands.
So a few notes about videos in Britannica School. First off, videos that include some sort of word will give you closed captions. So you will have captions for the videos in Britannica School. That's really helpful for students that may need to see the text as the text is being said, or that may need some additional support with reading along. You have your normal play options, but a really cool feature is that you can download videos from Britannica School. Once you download the video, you have an MP4 file that you're then able to put in presentations or do other things with as needed. There's some other features, again, closed captioning. But to support closed captions, our videos also include a transcript. To get to that transcript, on my video preview page, I can click any of these three options. So the media details, the sharing options, or the video transcript. That will bring me to the full video page, where under the information that was on the preview, I now have a transcript of the video. This can be extremely helpful to support students that are either struggling readers or that may need some assistance to be able to see and interact with the text so that they're able to best interact with the video. Our sharing options are again back at the top, so I'm able to copy a link for my video. All of our links are static, so it will bring you to the page for the link that you copied. You can send it to your email, or you can send it to Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams if you use either of those platforms. I have the option to save this video to my Britannica account. I can print the video, and if I do so, being really specific, you will only print the description of the video, where the video comes from, and the transcript. So again, if you download the video, this could be really helpful if you want to make sure that students also have that transcript. I can build a citation for my video. And remember, I can change my citation style. And I can change the size of the font on this page. Let's go back to our search results. And now let's look at the more option that we get when we search for items. So you can click either more or the three dots, and then you will get additional options for your search. So the first additional option is the dictionary. This will give you a dictionary definition from Merriam-Webster, where you have the definition of the word, the part of speech, and you can get that word read aloud.
Lion.
This could be really helpful if you really want to support students with a visual literacy so that they build their own dictionary with a definition, images, videos, and so forth. The next type of result are magazines. And our magazines come from a variety of different places, but you're able to click in the magazine and see the text within the article. If you find PDF version by any magazine, the PDF version will give you the formatted version of that article along with any images that's included in the article. So if it's just the link to the article, you will only get the text in Britannica School. But if it has a PDF version, you will then be able to open that article with its formatting. Our next search result are the web's best sites. These websites are curated by the editorial team to accompany keywords. All of these websites will take you out of Britannica School. So please keep that in mind, that it will open a new tab, and that tab is outside of Britannica School. It's also helpful to just know that whatever is happening on those sites is more specific for those organizations. And we can only curate the list, but we can't change the information that any of the websites themselves post. So that could be a really good way to just have students explore more sites, more information, but also teach them a little bit about web safety and finding safe websites. Next, we have primary sources and ebooks. You have access to these in Britannica School. I can open whatever primary source or ebook I find. And it may be helpful to change your level to help curate more specific ebook searches. Our next search results are year in review and lesson plans. And the year in review just gives you sort of a search of different mentions of whatever your term is based on a year. So it may not be as helpful as some of the other things, but if you want to know specifically about a term in a certain year, so my search here for lion doesn't really yield some really good results in terms of the year in review. But if I use a search term that is very specific to years, then the year in review could be really helpful to help students see how something might have changed over time. And finally, the lesson plans are curated by users like yourself in Britannica School. You're able to create lesson plans and share those with others. And once you have a My Britannica account, I'll show you where you're able to get to all of that. Now, let's close out our search results with our articles. So that was the first thing that we came to, and it's going to be the last thing that we explore because there are a lot of tools within articles. So let's go into our article. This is what an article looks like in Britannica School. I have what the article is, a table of contents, which I could quickly use to navigate the article itself. I can quickly change my reading level of the article. So if I have students that are struggling with this article at the middle school level, it may be helpful to have them switch the reading level down. Or if I want to challenge some of my students a little bit more, I can switch my reading level up. Articles typically include a small "did you know?" That's just a curated fact from the article. Some of the tools that you can use with articles, they are really cool. So I want to take some time to make sure I go through each tool. First is the sharing tool. I can send this article to my email, to Google Classroom, Google Drive, or Microsoft Teams. And remember, this article does have a static link, so you will be able to send students to this article. After my sharing options, I can favorite my article, and I'll be sure to talk about that when we talk about My Britannica. I can print my article, and if I print my article, I'm losing most of the formatting, but I'm keeping the topics and the text. So this could be really helpful if you do have students that may be a little more distracted by some of the text, some of the photos, and this could allow you to just give them that text. I have my citation builder where I can build my citation for this article using whatever style of citation we're using. The next tool is the translate function. And the translate function is really cool for articles because I am able to translate my article into over 85 languages. I'm going to choose Arabic and translate. So now I have my article translated into Arabic by Google Translate. And again, this is from Google Translate. So if it isn't a perfect translation, it's because it's not really a perfect translation in Google Translate, but you are able to contribute to better translations. If I hover over my text, I'm able to see a translation of the text. So that could be really cool for students that are maybe learning a language. To get back to my original article, I will click Show Original in the toolbar. And now I have my article back in English. The next tool that we have is the Listen tool. This tool will read the article aloud in English.
Introduction. Except for the tiger, the lion is the largest member of the cat family.
I want to highlight that this only works in English. So if I translate my article, I am not able to use that read aloud.
Panthera leo.
As I would expect. So please keep that in mind. That's only for English. I think I may have put myself in a translation loop. So I'll just go ahead and refresh my article. The next tool that you all can use with articles is the Quick Click Dictionary. And the Quick Click Dictionary allows you to double click on words in the article and have a definition of that word provided by Merriam-Webster. With that definition, I'm able to get the word read aloud.
Beast.
And I also have my Spanish translation of that word. So that's really cool. especially to help students that may struggle with individual words, or to help build a larger skill of using context or using definitions to define words. Within an article, I also have a number of images and videos. So I can easily access images and videos from my articles. You also have a related content tab, which will then bring you to any related content that may have mentions or keywords related to whatever article you're looking at. So I have other articles that are related. I have some primary sources and ebooks, and then I have some websites that are related. The last tab is the teacher tab. And using the teacher tab, I can see how this article then may align with specific standards. So I'm going to use our US state standards. Go to South Carolina and look up our language arts standards. And I can see that this article aligns for these fourth grade standards. There are EdGate lessons that are included when you do this search, and a lot of these lessons will take you out of Britannica School to EdGate. So if you have any issues with the EdGate lessons, please, you can let us know, but we are not able to do anything to those EdGate lessons. They're supposed to be an additional support that can help you with whatever standards. Okay, that was a lot. So I'm gonna bring us back to Britannica School. I'm gonna click on Britannica School. If you have any questions about a search, any of the results, or any of the features, please feel free to put those in the chat. I'm now gonna take us through each of the home pages so that you can see what's included when you click on the home pages for the different grade levels. And I'm gonna start with elementary. The elementary homepage is really curated for younger students to interact with. And this can either allow students to get started with research to help them identify their interests, or just find a topic that they may want to learn more about. There's some rotating did you know questions at the top of the page that will ask a quick question and have students answer. If students answer the question incorrectly, it'll give some feedback and then send students to the article for that content. This is what an article looks like in the elementary side. So it's really made for students at that level. I have all of my same tools and my sharing features. And again, if I have students that this may be really easy for, and I want to challenge them a little, I can increase the reading level so that they're then able to see a more complex text. I'm going to go back to my article. To get to the home page, so the elementary home page, I will click elementary. Now bring me back. Under the Did You Know, we have an Explore section where you can explore articles, images and videos, and biographies. The articles, images, and videos are all organized based on topic. So this could be really good to introduce students to a variety of topics. Each of the topics then have subtopics that you can use to then guide students a little bit more if you want their discovery or their investigation to be guided. The biography section is arranged alphabetically. and I'm able to go in and see all of the biographies that are listed in alphabetical order. If I know a specific word that I'm searching for, I can use this note to help students then search for more specific things. I'm going to go back to the elementary homepage. You can get to Britannica Fundamentals from the elementary homepage for your pre-K through second grade students. There's a section on the animal kingdom that students in the elementary grades tend to lean heavily on animals. This could be a really great way to get to know your students and get to know what animals are they interested in. Your animals are divided into groups, habitat, and then we have them listed A through Z. So I could look for, right now I'm looking for fish. I could try my search by habitat. So maybe I want animals that live in the desert. Or I can just try A through Z search and get all my animals. So again, that could be really cool for research projects. You can use it to get to know your students. Under the animal kingdom section, there's a geography section. All of the home pages have a geography section, and they include a world atlas, a tour of the USA, and a feature to compare countries. Only the elementary site has the Geography Explorer, which is a game which allows your students to So within this game, they will help JOG build their maps by dropping different pieces of information, and it becomes more complicated through each of the stages, but it could be really helpful to have students just learn some geography. I'm going to leave this. And the final thing on the elementary homepage will take you to Britannica Escolar, and we'll spend a few minutes at the end to go through Escolar so you can see how to use it. It's very similar to Britannica School, but just so you can see some of the nuances. I'm going to go back to the Britannica School homepage, go to middle. This is our middle school section. There's a rotating can you guess or a quick question at the top that can spark students' interest and then take them to an article. Our articles, images, and videos are in the Explore section, and here they're organized again by topic. And these topics are a bit more specific for older students, so middle and high school students, where you can search through and see different media attached to different topics. Finally, there's the biography section. And the biography section in the middle and high school is really cool because you're really able to narrow in a focus. So I can search by era. So if I know a time period that a person lived, I can search by national or cultural association. And I can also search for what they are known for. So let's say I am looking for an actor who was active 1900 to present, but specifically they are from Brazil. Oh, we don't have any Brazilian actors listed. Let's try British. And we have our British actors. You can also filter by gender, and currently there's only male and female. I'm going to take us back to the homepage by clicking on middle. Under the Explore section, there's an Add a Grant section, which can be used to really get students invested into various topics. And these at a glance articles are really curated so that you can then use these articles as jumping points for topics. So I can then use this solar system article to talk about the different planets and different things that are in the solar system. Once you make a My Britannica account, you will then have a section for My Content where you're able to get to those lesson plans I talked about earlier, but also get to any articles and content that you added as favorites. Under that, there's a Did You Know section that's typically under a minute with a video of something, just asking, did you know? It's a really quick video, so this could be used as sort of an introduction to things, or as a quick way or a quick station for students to explore some ideas, practice some research, and engage with some topics. Under that, there's a daily buzzword where you can read the buzzword aloud.
Who done it?
And it also has, what does it mean and how do you use it? For middle school students especially, the how do you use it could be really important. Under that, there's a can you guess section. And these have really interesting questions that will then take you to articles to answer those questions. The geography section is under that, where I can compare countries. I'm going to try this out. So I'm going to compare. Let's try Chile and South Africa. So I have content from those articles that compare those two countries. There's some notes regarding those specific pieces of content. And I can also get to the specific articles with more information if I do want to compare those countries. In our geography section, we also have the World Atlas, where you can explore different locations using Google Maps. And we're gonna try Chile again. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Maybe let's look at Santiago. And using Google Maps, I can use my little person and drag him to get a street view of a location. This could be really, really cool for exploring different places. If there are places such as public buildings, so city halls and museums, you can enter those places from this street view. So this could be really cool to just let students find a place and explore. Under our geography section, there's a section for recommended US primary sources. And at the bottom of the page, this is really what a lot of people really like to see. It's our section of new and revised articles. So I can click more new and revised articles to see what's been updated today. And if I scroll through, I'm also able to see that there are topics that are recently updated. I think we may be able to find some of those in the high school section. So let's go there. The high school section, again, is structured for those students. So we have a rotating section at the top for some topics that students may be interested in. The Explore section, that again is based on topic. My Britannica, which includes my content and lesson plans. There's a Flash Facts section, which has the question and some facts that then allow students to start their own research from these questions. We have a In Their Words, which just includes a quote And you can really do a lot with these quotes. So whether think about what does the quote mean? Why is this person saying it? Or who is this person? Under that, we have our compare countries in our world atlas, our recommended primary sources, and our new and revised articles. And I knew our high school section had a bit more recent and more up-to-date things, such as Britney Spears, which was updated today. And I could see the other pieces of content that was updated today in Britannica School. Are there any questions on Britannica School? If you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat. I want to give you a quick overview of Britannica Escolar. And again, it's really similar to Britannica School. I have two levels, so my primary level and my secondary level. And I'm not a Spanish speaker, so I apologize. But Britannica School is very user-friendly. So I can do a quick search. And I'm going to search Chile. And this is what my search results will look like in the primary section, so that elementary section. I can share my search results, so I can email those to myself. I have my images, where again, I have my image preview page, where I have a title of my image, a description of that image and where it comes from. I can save this image to my favorite. I can print this image, where I would get that information along with the description and citation. I can email it. I can use my citation builder to build a citation for this image in Spanish. Or I can share it using a link, Google Classroom, or Microsoft Teams. If I want to get the full view of the image, I'll just click on that link, and this is just the full page. I'm gonna go back to my search results and go to videos. And with our videos, these videos are in Spanish. So again, I have my title, I have a description of the video and where it comes from, but I'll also have my transcript. And I can see my transcript here is in Spanish. So if I listen to the video,
Los chiles en nogada son uno de los platillos más emblemáticos de la.
I recognize that my audio is also in Spanish. So again, this could be really helpful for those native Spanish speakers, students who are learning Spanish, or students that may speak dual languages. And finally, our articles in Escolar. So I'm going to click on an article. And this is what an article looks like in the primary section. I have all of my tools to favorite, to print my article, email it. I can build my citation, or I can share it to Google Classroom, Google Drive, or Microsoft Teams. I can have my article read aloud.
Ubicada en la costa oeste de América del Sur, la República de Chile se extiende de norte a sur a lo largo de.
I see that my article is also chunked, which is really helpful for students. If you want them to read a specific section, that could be helpful to say, hey, go to this section and read from the article. Our Escolar site also has a really dynamic homepage. But the key difference on our homepage, specifically for our primary section in Escolar, is the activities section, where you can go in and play different activities in Spanish. So I'm going to try the equivalent fractions one. And I have my instructions and the game in Spanish. So this could be really cool for students who are learning the language or who may be ESL students that can then support making sure that they're able to practice whatever skills. I'm going to take us back to Escolar and quickly show you what the secondary level looks like. So I'm going to search lion. So this is what our search results will look like. And again, this is in the secondary level, sorry. I still have access to the quick click dictionary so I can really see what words mean. That could be really helpful for students. I also have my read aloud and so forth. And this is what the secondary homepage looks like. So it could be a really great way to get students started with whatever research they may be doing. I want to highlight the recently updated section in Escolar, so you can see which articles were recently updated. And you also have the news from BBC Mundo. So that's at the bottom of the page. And if you do have access to everything, you have your full article. And I just want to compare that to Britannica School. So if you go to the high school section at the end, there's I think it just hasn't updated yet. At the end, there's typically a section from the New York Times, and you can use that to then send students to the New York Times, but you do need an account to be able to view as many articles as you would like, or you're limited to those free articles. So My Britannica, I've talked a little bit about this. This is a way for you to be able to save content, create resource packs, and do a number of different things with the content in Britannica School and Escolar. It is optional to create a personal account, but to do so, you would go through, I'm going to take us back to Britannica School, click, maybe choose my middle school level. I'm going to sign out just so you can see the process. I'm going to click on My Britannica and click Sign into a Personal Account. Remember, this is optional. You don't have to do it, but it's highly recommended if you're going to use Britannica School or any of the Britannica products in a regular basis. I can do a single sign-on with Google, or I can create an account. If I create an account, please note, as an educator, please provide your email and click Educator. As a student, students will only need a username and password. They would not need to include their email address, and they can only click Student, so that they will then have access to the student features in Britannica School. Once I make a My Britannica account, I'm then able to click My Britannica to see the different pieces of content that I've added to my favorites. And I see that it tells me what level the content is from. So these are level 3 high school level. I have some images, but I can also create resource packs, which are packs of content that are curated by you around specific topics. So for example, I have a resource pack on the amendments to the US Constitution. And in this pack, I have different pieces of content from Britannica School that I've curated that I can then share with other teachers, share with students, share with parents or I can convert it to a lesson plan. If I convert it to a lesson plan, I can then go in and put more specific information about how I may use this resource pack in my lesson. And lesson plans, again, can be shared. Remember, they are made by educators, so you can make lesson plans and share them on Britannica School. To get to public lesson plans, you will go to My Britannica and click Public Lesson Plans. And that way you can then see what lessons other educators have put together, and you can filter through those lessons by grade and subject. The same process works to create a My Britannica account in Escolar, but not knowing Spanish as well, I won't walk you through that. Again, you can use a single sign-on, or you can create an account using a username, password, and your email as an educator, but please be sure to click Educator. There are some additional resources to support literacy skill development and to make sure that your students have trusted resources. One of those is Britannica Insights. And Britannica Insights is a free Chrome extension for Britannica School users, so that if you search something in Google Chrome, and I'm going to search lion, Britannica Insights Britannica Insights then will pop up up here with a box of curated Britannica content around whatever it is that I searched. So that could be really helpful for students, especially students using Google. And you can find that from Google Chrome. It's a free Google Chrome extension. There are additional resources available at BritannicaLearn.com, such as scavenger hunts, graphic organizers, infographics, posters, and so much more. We also have a tutorial site that I will be sure to share with you in the follow-up so that you have access to the additional resources out there. And this is the Britannica Learn resources site. Okay, so we are at the end of our time. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to put those in the chat. Before you all leave, please make sure you do take some time to explore Britannica yourself. And this is a slide that can really walk you through that exploration process. But the important thing, please make sure to complete our evaluation for today. I'll put the link in the chat so that you can get to that survey, but the website is www.surveymonkey.com/r/introbrit. So please make sure you complete this workshop evaluation to let us know how did we do, how can we improve, how can we help you to use these tools in your own practice. Again, my name is Kaleb Banks. I'm the education consultant for the Eastern Region. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me at any time at kbanks@eb.com. If you run into any technical issues, please contact technical support at edsupport@eb.com. It was a pleasure to be here with you all today. If you do have any questions, please send those my way. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great remainder of your day. And please feel free to let me know, how are you using Britannica and how can we help you all use these products in your spaces. Have a great remainder of your day, everyone.